All right, hi. I've never done this before, so I might be a little awkward when speaking. Also, sorry for speaking quickly. I'm just a fast speaker, and that's about it. Anyway, I had a little idea that I want to test, but I don't want to spend too much time on it. So I thought about coding it, but I'm not going to code it. I'm going to try to use Zapier. What is the idea? Well, there is a neat little service called Apply by API, if I'm not mistaken. And this is a problem I had myself. Like, I'm working for a startup right now, and we want to hire people. But when you hire people and you put out a job ad, even for a software engineer, you get like 95% absolute garbage CVs. Like, we had someone that wanted to work as a software engineer, but had absolutely no experience with software engineering, and the last job they did was a kindergarten teacher. When asked if they had experience, they just ghosted. Because I mean, sometimes these people just are good; they just code on their spare time, etc. So I don't want to miss people who are capable but simply have a CV that I would have a bias against. So there is this service here, which is Apply by API, which is instead of applying for a job like uploading your CV with a form, etc., you actually just send a request to an API endpoint with your information, your name, email, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc., whatever. And if someone can do that, it means they have some knowledge already. Even if they're using Postman or whatever, it means they can do something. So you're getting higher quality CVs of people that actually have the experience, if that makes sense. But anyway, the service already exists. Yes, I know. There's a price associated with it. It's not cheap. Like $499 a month for our case is a bit too much. We're a bit more bootstrapped for that. Or we're too bootstrapped to be able to do that. Not bootstrapped, we just don't want to spend a lot of money, especially on something like this. So I want to do something cheaper than this. I want to do something that is like a tenth of this price, but also with way less features. So, of course, initially I thought, let's just make a Symfony application, have an API endpoint, but that implies installing Symfony, Docker containers, having an OAuth 2. I don't need an OAuth 2 server. I can just have the API endpoint and get it. But I don't want to do any of that. So I want to do it in like an hour max. I probably will have to have lunch soon with Zapier. So I'm just going to get started. I have it in my head, kind of what I want, but it will adapt. This might not be the final thing. So, app event. I want a webhook because it's an API endpoint. So I want something to be triggered by when something is received on an API endpoint. So I'm setting up a catch hook with a Zapier webhook. Yeah, Zapier, by the way. Like, it's not Zapier. I thought it was Zapier, but I saw a podcast with their CTO the other day, and he said Zapier. So Zapier it is. Okay, so I don't remember exactly how this works, but I think I'm supposed to send an endpoint to this, send a request to this endpoint. Yeah, we want a post request. So do I want JSON? Do I want JSON? I'll do JSON. How do I send a JSON request to this? I always forget how JSON works, so the JSON does have quotes, right? Name George. Is this valid? This is valid. Okay, cool. But maybe we need more of this. Might need more information than this. And another problem that we have here is that we're going to have multiple people applying for multiple jobs. So it's not that straightforward in a sense. At least not with Zapier. It would be relatively trivial if you just build the application yourself. Like, I mean, I could have a variable which is job ID, job posting ID, and then the person just puts in the ID of the job they applied for, and with a Google Sheet or something, which, by the way, all these applications will end up on a Google Sheet. And then I can manually send the applications with a certain job ID to a certain email address that I know behind the scenes, and I could just code that later on. So we can just make a job ID has to be a cool job ID, but it can't be something that people can guess other job IDs, if that makes sense. Like if the job ID is just a company name, then they might have different open applications, and B, if it's something just like company name, then you can apply for companies that you haven't even seen the job ads for example. But let's say job ID is a company name and then a random string, just because of reasons. Name, and then let's create an object here, applicant. Is this how you make objects? I think this is how you make objects. How else would it be? Am I right? It's invalid. Oh yeah, because I need a comma, of course. Duh. Yes. Okay, so now we have an applicant object, which looks like this. What else do we need? What else do we need? Job ID, company name, blah, 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 blah. Applicant name, George. LinkedIn. What else do we need for an applicant? GitHub, because it's development. GitHub. I have to write the hello properly. What else do we want? We have LinkedIn, we have GitHub. This might be enough. I mean, we can have first name, last name, just because of reasons. And also to personalize emails that I'm not going to send, but the company will once they get it in their email address. What's a good name? What's a good last name? Baloney. Great last name. So we have first name, last name, LinkedIn, GitHub. What else do we need? I mean, you can just add stuff later on, because it's just going to catch everything that you send. That's kind of it. And then, yeah, I think that's kind of it. Let's say that's it. Email address, of course. Who do you send the email to? Duh. Email. We don't want their actual address. Country, does that matter? Country matters. Country. City, city. This is where I live, by the way. There's still snow outside. Check that out. Okay, so we have first name, last name, email, country, and city. What else do you really need? And okay, you have first name, last name, email, country, and city, LinkedIn and GitHub, and you know that the person has the ability to actually send a post request to an API endpoint, which implies a certain amount of experience, or at least enough grit to figure it out. It could be that you get someone that is clueless but just tried enough things and one of them ended up working. Do we still have valid JSON? We still have valid JSON. So cool. And that's perhaps it. Let's just I'm gonna take this now. I'm gonna go back to here. I have the Zapier hook right here. I think, yeah, text JSON. This is gonna then look nicer. So I'm gonna send this to. I think that's how it works. So I got a success answer here from Zapier. This is already Zapier telling me this. So I already sent a request to that. Oh yeah, this is actually where I'm supposed to do it. But I'll just do it again then. Send. Forget how this works. Catch hook, yes. Test your trigger. Yeah, that is correct. Complaining about that, but I am getting a successful thingy, but nothing is happening here. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, so here we have it. Job ID, applicant, first name, last name, email, country, city, LinkedIn, GitHub. And yeah, that's kinda it. Now, what do we do next? Okay, I'm gonna create a Google Sheet just in my personal email address. Is this my personal email address? Yes, actually we want Sheets. Just gonna create a brand new document. Apply by API applicants. Apply by API applicants. Oh, apply by API applicants. That's kind of convoluted, but sure. Now we go back to Zapier. Google Sheets. Choose an event. Create spreadsheet row. First, I'm gonna have to have a thing here. We have a first name, last name. First name, last name, email, country, city, LinkedIn, GitHub. Email, country, city, LinkedIn, GitHub. Just to double check the order so I don't mess up. Country, city, LinkedIn, GitHub. Yeah, cool. All right, so that's the header. Now, create spreadsheet row. Continue. Choose an account. That's going to be this one. I have 2 emails logged in and my work email, but I don't want this to be in my work email. Now, my Google Drive, spreadsheet, apply by API applicants that I just created, worksheet, sheet 1. Now, first name. This first name here, the first space name, is the name of the column in the sheets. I think it looks like it. Last name is going to be applicant last name, and of course I need job ID. So you have this refresh fields button here, so you can go back to your sheet, and job ID can be at the end because we can just search by it later on. So last name, applicant last name, email, applicant email, that's good. Country, applicant country. City, applicant city. LinkedIn, GitHub. By the way, I know it's GitHub, I'm just saying it like that because of... Does anybody else just speak nonsense while they think? I do. That's it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Yeah, so now continue. And this should kind of work already. So send spreadsheet row to Google Sheets whenever someone sends a request to that endpoint. So, yeah. A spreadsheet row was sent to Google Sheets just now with this information. So if we go back to Google Sheets, there should be a George Baloney that just applied. And here we go. Here is George Baloney. So the MVP for this, for the functionality, is we can actually now test it live. Like let's send as if I had sent an application for this. By the way, now you see my email. If you want to send me something nice, feel free to send me memes. Send. Did it? It didn't. It did not. Why did it not? I don't know. It's worth figuring out why. Oh, because the Zap is not actually turned on. Now the Zap is turned on. By the way, you're charged for this, but you have, I think, 3 Zaps. So now the Zap is turned on. Now let's see if it works when I send. Yeah, instant. Sent the request, and I have my application here. So now what I would do is, this takes care of the applicant part. For the other parts, I would just manually at the end of the day write an email to the company. I can create a new sheet here. Could actually use Airtable or something for this if you want to be really cool. Pretty sure Zapier has integrations for that. Almost certain it has that. But let's say I want to have companies and perhaps job openings, because yeah, you do want you want to connect stuff. So like you want to know that this job ID connects to a company name and a job opening with a particular email, because different departments might have different job openings, and you might want to email someone different for each department. But I would just manually send an email at the end of every day with the applicants that applied on that particular day. Which reminds me, I'm missing a date field right here to know when when it was actually submitted. That might be a good thing to add. I don't know. Can we add this easily? Can we add this easily? How do I? Okay, edit. Can't edit. Can't I edit zaps? I can't edit zaps. Yeah, you get 5 zaps for free per month and 100 tasks. So I will have to pay for this soon if this actually works. Yeah, I could just click the zap and modify it. Got it. I don't use Zapier that often, so I forget. Setup action. Okay, let's see if I have date like that. Date submitted. Like the application was submitted. Refresh fields. It's not so obvious. I'm gonna have to search this. Zapier, create row, date submitted. If that works. Insert the time your zap runs into a field. Cool. Zap meta human now should this should do it. Let's see if it does it. Date submitted. This should work. It says no data, but let's see what happens. Turn on Zap, and I'm going to send the same application that I just did, which is myself, but now with the date field. Send. And you get the date submitted. So now you get to know when things were submitted, which I think is important. So yeah, that's this is the MVP. This is done. The part that creates value is done. Now you just sell the value to customers, and that's like an entirely different beast. But this is how I avoided coding a Symfony application, or whatever application, bothering with Docker containers, bothering with AWS or other hosting or etc. Just the time it would take me to set up the project with a boilerplate is the time it took me to do this. Does it have a lot of limitations? Oh, yes, it does. But this works well enough. You can handle like 10 applicants a day, which depending on your pricing tier could be $50 a month just coming in. So here's a little MVP in Zapier, and I will see you next time. Next time. Hope I was actually recording. Yes, I was. Okay, so the other side of this, the people that are actually paying. The development part is done. Someone sends a request to that endpoint, they see this. I have Postman open here. This is how you would send a request with Postman. Just this endpoint. This could be a thing, like it would make sense to hide this endpoint behind a custom URL, but that's not important right now. I'm not going to bother with it. I'll just do it later when it's actually important, when I've actually gotten money for this, or at least traction. And this is the payload, the JSON payload. So whenever this is sent, you get a new row in the sheet. That's cool. But now we need to make this easy to use. Like this is the startup I co-founded, and we want to get our applicants to start coming in. But my CEO doesn't know how to write doesn't know how to write API docs. So I need to have something reusable that it's very easy for him. Like my initial thought is to just have a link that sends to the site that I control. Let's see what domains we have here. API apply. Do we have a .com for API apply? And then you could send people to, for example, yeah, this API apply exists. I'm gonna buy this one. You could just send people to a URL that looks like apiapply.com, job ID, company name, and this sends you to a website and automatically makes the documentation for the API with this job ID. So then it's very, very easy. You don't have to create jobs on the platform, if that makes sense. Because one of the things that bothers me with this one is that it seems like they even limit your job postings. Like, I don't necessarily want to post jobs on this platform. I already have my other platforms where I post jobs. I have jobs on LinkedIn. I post jobs on my own internal website. I don't want another platform to post jobs on. So if I can just do it like this with the job ID and the URL, it becomes extremely easy to just make this work with whatever other platforms I use. Of course, I have to test this. I have to test this with my CEO to see if he can actually figure it out. And it's very interesting to test this with people you already know, because you get great insight. And you'll also notice that I'm not prioritizing a registration page. Like these guys already have a sign up form and everything. I'm not going to be doing this because the people I'm going to approach, it's going to be in person. Or not in person, but at least cold emails, people I know kind of well, people, conferences, etc. I'll pitch this to them in person, so I'll just make the account for them myself. And it's not a big deal, you get traction. This is automation. I have nothing to automate right now because I don't know if it's even going to work, so I'm not going to do automation. The automation I've done is the automation that needs to be done. This is not necessary right now. So I'm just going to buy APIapply.com, and I'm going to make this website that does this. Like, this doesn't even need to be a server-side application. JavaScript can do this. So I'm going to make a Hugo website. I'm going to buy APIapply.com, and I'm going to make a Hugo website with the JavaScript code that runs and adds this job ID to the documentation that we did previously. So I'm just going to buy this. Yes. Didn't even check for typos. Should have checked for typos. By the way, if you register a domain and you get a typo in it, you can usually email Namecheap or the registrar, and if you email them within like 24 hours, they might cancel your order and allow you to make a new order without the issue. Okay, so now we have APIapply.com. So now I want to make a Hugo site, and I want to use Netlify for it. Netlify, I'm not sure how to say it. I have a bunch of websites on here already, but I'm gonna go ahead and make a new one. Just checking if it's still recording. Okay, add new site. Start from a template. I'm gonna go for Hugo, but I don't want a blog. I just want a landing page. Maybe I don't even need Hugo. I just need a landing page. What do I need it to look like? It needs to look cool. And it just needs to get the job ID from the URL into the documentation of the API. I can check tip. Sometimes you can check CodePen for things that look cool, and then you can modify it. API documentation, just to see what they have here, just for inspiration. There isn't really anything. This is too much. I just want like a code snippet, perhaps. Code snippet. Looks too meh. Kind of want it to just look cooler than that. No. Bad luck. Alright. Code snippet. CSS template, because the code snippet, like you want the API docs to be kind of cool. This is not it at all. Code snippet box CSS template. Let's look at preview images, because it seems like it's more complicated to find than I'd like. Hard thing to search for, by the way, because the keywords are confusing for Google. So code format CSS template. difficult. Pre-tag HTML template CSS, because it will be pre. Okay, I kind of like this one. No, this is not a real one. Okay, maybe I'm just gonna go for it and just do it myself. Perhaps that's easier. I'm gonna just use CodePen to start this off. It's hard to add the URL. Maybe CodePen isn't the best idea, but I'm just gonna do CodePen. New pen. Apply, I'm gonna call it. Apply. So I'm gonna do this in a way that I can just copy paste from areas. So I'm just gonna search for HTML5 boilerplate. CodePen perhaps has this. Does CodePen have this? I'm gonna figure it out now. Template on. I'll just make my own templates. That's meh. No preprocessor. I don't want any of this. CSS. No. Maybe. Yes. Yeah, so this is it. This is the only documentation they're going to get. And then they have to figure out how to send this information to an endpoint, and we're going to test this. So this is kind of what it looks like. I'm just going to post this onto apiapply.com. And yeah, let's see how it works. Okay, about 2 hours ago I was doing the previous part. Now I'm going to go ahead and actually make the website for this. I'm gonna need a website. That was just the previous video. I'm gonna need a website. I'm gonna use Hugo just because I like how it works. The website needs to have some sales copyright, blog for SEO for later on, but I want to set it up from the start, even though I'm probably not gonna write any posts. I might write some posts about remote work, etc., just for SEO. I have them already in another blog. I can just reuse some content I already have. And of course the actual application page. So it's going to be a relatively simple site, maybe something like this. Let's see what the demo looks like. Very image intensive, and this is pretty weird way to demo something, but I don't want something that image intensive. This one maybe. A lot of text. There's this image. I could maybe find an interesting image for this. Where does this lead you to? Phone number and email. I don't know. Team about contact. I can also have a team one. Don't know. I'll see. Didn't click. Did not click. This one could be interesting. But no, because the sales part of the website has to be very friendly for non-technical people. Not a huge fan of either of these, any of these. Some of these are old also. Not a big fan of any of these whatsoever. Search goes on. Yeah, I just searched for Hugo templates. Well, template, but now I'm gonna search for. I'm just gonna search for Hugo themes. That's better. Okay, curated directory of Hugo themes. There's kind of no preview of these here, so that's a little bit meh. Hugo themes complete list. I mean, that's a yeah, there's also paid themes for Hugo. These are all kind of okay, interesting. Okay, of course. Big Spring. I can check it on GitHub. Big Spring Hugo. Big Spring Light. Demo. Okay, there's a lot of these light templates that then they want you to pay for the premium stuff, but this has everything I need. Yes, completely. More than what I need. Blog, but a lot of these things might be in the premium category, they just don't tell me which one. Pricing page, that's one that I forgot. I'm gonna use this one. Just gonna check issues if people have complained about anything. Oh, everything is closed, so at least they're... Yeah, okay, then I'm gonna choose this one. I'm gonna choose this one. I'm gonna go start a new Hugo site. I'm not gonna use Docker. Hugo new site API apply.com. Oops. Now I'm in apiapply.com. Hugo new post, or do I already have a website? I don't know. No, I need to download this code SSH. But I don't want it to remain... every time I have this as a Git submodule, it kind of... Netlify doesn't really like it, and then the deployment always fails, and I don't really like that because I don't like it to fail. So git clone Big Spring Light into the themes folder. I'm gonna go into the theme page and delete everything with .git. So now it's no longer a repository. This is not a add everything, initial. I don't have an origin yet. I'm gonna go into GitHub. Actually, I already am in GitHub. New repository, no template, API apply, and I want it to be private. No description for now. It's okay, create repository. Now, already I have master instead. Git push origin master. And that's done. Now I hop onto Netlify. And thought I was logged in already. Guess not. Well, we're gonna see if it builds from the start. Actually, maybe I'll first try locally. Hugo server. See what fails. 9000. That's the wrong port. Which port does it want it to go to? 1313. Yeah, it does not generate anything because I need to select. Yeah, found no layout. Well, you should create a template file. Ooh, VS Code. I like VS Code for this. Open. Apply apiapply.com. Config. Example site. start again. I still don't have any content though. Page not found. Forget always. Content. I don't want multiple. Not gonna do any of that, not gonna do any of that. Blog. Content. Okay, I'm just gonna copy the entire thing into content. Now what's that gonna look like? Like nothing. Data. What errors am I getting here? There are actually pages happening, so it might be because of that. I don't necessarily want that. Jeez. Always forget this. Always forget this. Supposedly it's generating pages. Yeah, here we go. Missing some images. Yeah, got images, got the site. Now I'm gonna see if it works. There's no actual menu though. Something is going wrong with the menu. Does it tell me what the problem is? It does not. It's one of the issues sometimes with this, is the not great. Okay, where does it actually tell me which is which? It doesn't. It's not good. Hugo config directory. I'm just going to remove this file, see what happens. I've never done this before, so yeah, let's try localhost here. Nope. Turn it off and on again. Here we go, but everything else is gone. But we got a menu. Okay, just missing the pages. That seems okay. The content is all there. data. Probably have some data missing. Or not necessarily, actually. All the config. Assets, I'm missing assets. No, that's not in the example site directory. Content. Yeah, of course, because now all the now all of that's missing. I'm gonna delete all these. I'm gonna go into the content, Deutsch, English, and I'm gonna paste all this into here. I didn't necessarily from the start want to have multiple languages, but it seems like I'm forced into it, so cool, but it didn't update the way I wanted. Yes, okay. I have a menu, I have a language selector. Okay, the get started string isn't translated, but that's okay. This template works for what I want. So now I'm going to push this to Git. I'm going to turn it off. Okay, just had something in my mouth. Okay, now it's in Git. So Netlify, new site, import existing project, GitHub. Already authorized GitHub. Thank you. Yes. API apply. This one. Branch deploy master base directory. Build command. I'm gonna have to check settings from other projects because I don't remember. But that's okay, I have plenty of them. This one is also Hugo, so let's see what settings it's got. Build and deploy. Build command, Hugo, publish directory, public. Public Hugo. Deploy site, and now we'll see if it works. I'm just going to try to build. If it fails, it will tell me immediately. Usually it gives me a good reason why it failed. Whenever themes are Git submodules, it tends to fail, so I just didn't do it. I know it's not great. Like if Git, yeah, if you've got a Git submodule, then a lot more cool things can happen, like if the template gets updated, etc., etc. But I don't really care, so I just strip all the Gitness of that thing, and works for me most of the time. Let's see if it works. Let's see what it's saying. Oh, it says it's published. Okay, here we go. It's published. It's live. But I just have this, yeah, this image is wrong. I guess it's, yeah, it's still calling for melodic stroopwafel, by the way, for the Dutch. Okay, cool. That's that particular, yeah, okay, cool. Now I just need to get the URL right, but I don't care. I just know that it works. Assets kind of failed. Oh, pricing page is missing. Oh, there's no language selector here. Interesting. I'm going to check for some build scripts that maybe language has to be a part of. I don't know. Yeah, of course, now I turned it off here. Yeah. Actually, having multiple languages is cool because I live in Norway, I'm Portuguese, and I work with a lot of English-speaking people. So that's 3 languages I can have from the start that I can consistently get leads for. So yeah, I can add a few different languages here. Like, this is a pretty niche tool. I doubt one exists in Portuguese. Portuguese has 12 million people in Portugal speaking Portuguese and another 80 or 90 in Brazil. So that's almost 100 million people that speak Portuguese. So it's a market that is worth capturing. Like, A lot of the internet stuff is very English-centric, but if English is your second language, seriously consider developing things for your mother tongue, because there's less competition. You might be a big fish in your mother tongue compared to the size of your fishness in English. So just keep that in mind. But I do want to figure out why it fails. Now, does the GitHub page have any... Perhaps the GitHub page explains what I need to do to build. Sometimes they are this good. There is a Netlify file in here. Content, static images, don't care about that, don't care about that. Example site. Hugo.build.lock. Doesn't say anything. Netlify.toml. You can also set headers there, which is cool. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and add this here. See what this does. Status. Added netlify.toml config. Git push origin master, which, by the way, this automatically listens for commits and will automatically start deploying. So this one is now building. Site is live. Still didn't fix the language issue. Okay, I will fix the language issue later, another day. But I have more. Oh yeah, here, it did fix the language issue. So yeah, the theme came with the netlify.toml file that kind of configs how the website is going to do certain things. And that's done. And I'm just gonna have to configure this with my custom domain that I already bought, by the way. So I just have to go back here, set up a custom domain. apiapply.com. Verify. I add domain. It's mine. Okay. Now I've got to go back to Namecheap. Does it want me to log in again? Because I always forget my password. Yeah, it does want me to log in again. But I think I saved the new password. So yes, I did. Domain list. It's actually already there. Ooh. Might get a dot. Should I get a .eu like amanduabr.eu domain? 29% off. How about that? Advanced DNS. Is it advanced DNS? I think it is. So what does Netlify want me to do? I always forget. API apply. CNAME to melodic stroopwafel. Okay. Whereas I don't see where it is anymore. I am lost. Yes, here. www. CNAME, yes. apiapply.com alias to Apex load balancer. Not redirect. Alias record. Apex load balancer. Okay, that's done. Oh, why did one of them disappear? Yeah, it's there. Okay, so that's, now I kind of just have to wait. And then at one point I'll just make some emails for it as well. I don't know how unprofessional it is to just use my Gmail for a while. I'll try that out. At least it seems more human and less spammy, and I don't have to warm up the email inbox. Yeah, so that's kind of it. It's not going to be this quick, so yeah. Well, actually, it was. So yeah, apiapply.com is live. Now there's no HTTPS yet. I can get Netlify to kind of configure this. Verify DNS configuration. Oh, it worked. Provision certificate. Something's up with this. I'll just wait. I'll just check that out later. Don't know what that's about, but sooner or later it will be HTTPS, which is fine. Anyway, I'm gonna need to create a page. Oh, it's now HTTPS. Sweet. So we got an HTTPS blog up and running in like, I don't know, 10 minutes. Cool. Multi-language also. Anyway, this just goes to a contact page. I'm going to be focusing on making the page that works that we just developed with CodePen. Maybe looking slightly less shitty, but I'm going to make this page. I forget exactly how this works. I think I need to create something. I don't remember exactly what it is. Pages. Where are the pages here? Not data. Content. English, contact, FAQ. I can also have multiple languages of the page for, yeah, of course I'll have to with the documentation. It's like, okay, let's just go for the English one. This is a lot of stuff. So much text. I'm gonna make it this super hacky. So apiapply.com / what should be the I'm just gonna do /a. A.
Hey! Hey!
Inside A, I'm gonna put this file, which makes no sense. Title, apply via API, subtitle, nothing, no meta description, just empty, draft false, and then I can be mega hacky here. You can see how hacky I'm gonna be. Super hacky, that's how hacky I'll be. Where is actually CodePen? I just got lost again. Maybe I closed it? No, it's actually right here. What's wrong with me? Oof, that's how bad I'm being. But I do want to check out this locally because I'm not going to deploy just yet. Oh, it's already there. It was actually EN, so let's go back to EN. I have to probably Hugo server. Nay. Hugo server, yes. Not pricing, I want to go for A. A. Okay, it still shows the terms of service, but not anymore. In order to apply for this position, actually I like this more than the styled one, so I might just leave it. It just has default styling for, yeah, I might just leave it like this. And now I just need to add the JavaScript for it with the iffy. And I can be this hacky, you know? Like, yeah, I'm an unsupervised adult, I can do whatever I want. Let's try to bring in the parameter, job ID. It's not running. It's there. Done. Job ID is now whatever this shows. This is no backend stuff, this is just JavaScript. I mean, you could also do something nasty, like what if job ID is equal to doesn't actually, I guess it's safe-ish. What if I don't close it? No, seems actually okay. I will look into it though, because I don't trust, you should not trust user inputs ever. But yeah, this works. I mean, if someone sends the post request to this endpoint with this payload, it's going to apply for this position, and this is the response that they're going to get. So that's yeah. I'm just going to change the name of this page because I don't like the A. Apply. Then it's apiapply.com/apply/job. I don't know actually. apiapply.com/job. Yeah, because then you get the job ID, so this makes more sense. Then this no longer exists. Job ID could also turn into just job. Okay, so this is working, so I'm going to stop this. Added apply page. Git push origin master. This is the local site. It's not working anymore because Hugo is off. This is the live site, which is completely live. Let's see, job. The price exists. This page does not exist yet, but it's going to be deployed soon. It's already here somewhere. Added apply page, deployed in 16 seconds. It should be here already. And I don't have a fav icon. Apply apiapply.com/job. Let's give it a job ID. And boom, there you go. You get a job ID, applicant, and yeah, you could already use this. You could actually already use this pretty well, and it's just over an hour of work. So I will customize this, like for example the blog, SEO stuff, etc. A lot of copywriting will go into this. Like I can also go through that later on. And the languages I'm going to choose are going to be English, Portuguese, and Norwegian, just because. And I'm going to I have to make a logo for this. Does this still work? I used to just go to Logo Joy. Oh, they changed names. And I would just make a logo, API apply, and I just take a screenshot of it, and I didn't even have to sign up for it. Technology. Some logos I like. I like this one. I like this one. I like this one and this one. And what else do I like? I like this one. Colors. Okay, I did not even think about... Okay, let's just go for this turquoise. Teal. Yeah, that's the one. There is no slogan. Not yet, anyway. Information technology, software IT, programming, developer. Let's see. Let's see what it offers. Pretty lame, but they get better sometimes. These are just generated, I guess, quasi-randomly, but these are pretty bad. Oh, I kind of like the one with the brackets. Okay, now they do this. Probably have to be a bit sneaky here. Yeah, sorry, but yeah, don't like it, but I do like the brackets thing, so I could also just hop on Figma and do it myself. like the inspiration part worked, am I right? So I'm just gonna close this. This is on. Actually surprised how quickly this all happened. Like the URL propagated so quickly, the domain propagated so quickly, the DNS, the SSL also propagated super quickly. And to now make this Figma, I might just reuse this board. I reuse a lot of them, I don't know why. I guess I just like having a lot of them. But anyway. Frame, how big do I want it? This is a bit too large. Let's do 250 by 150. 150. Yeah, better. Now just text. That's kind of it. How big is this? 100%. Too small. Bigger font, please. And probably have to get the frame to fit this a bit better. Can always just resize it later. Maybe the font is now too large. Looks okay. I'm going to center this. I'm going to center this in the frame. And vertically. Okay, it's now completely, no. Yes, nice. Yes, now I choose an interesting looking font. This is always hit and miss to me. Oh yeah, I should have actually aligned it before. Maybe like a nerdy looking font. What are nerdy looking fonts? Monospaced fonts. Monaco. That looks terrible. Don't like it. Pretty awful. Ooh, Dropio 1, kind of like this one. It's nice and simple. Colors though, it does need a color. What color is this? I'm gonna make it that same color on a white background. Or should it be a transparent PNG or? Okay, transparent PNG it is. Export, where does it save automatically? I don't know. Frame19.png, going into development, apiapply.com, static images, logo, logo.png already exists. Logo. Start the website. And I've got my logo, and it looks kind of neat. Just going to deploy this. Should be live soon. Yeah, and I also need to make a fav icon. I'm going to be super lazy. Copy this, paste it, just remove this. and just make this the fav icon, because I'm so lazy, like for real. I kind of need to see where the, yeah, okay, thank you. Since it's a fav icon, I'm gonna go bigger. Not a lot of real estate for fav icons. This will be the fav icon. It should actually be a square. Yeah, frame 20. Just copy it from here. favicon.png. favicon.png. Do I have layouts? Default base of. Is there a favicon here? No. Partials, head. Favicon. Site params favicon, so it's in the config. Not here actually. Maybe it's just a matter of adding it myself. I don't know, maybe. I think my local site is off. It's actually not even my local site. Turned it off. What does it say for a favicon? It's asking for it. favicon.png, is that what it's called? Yes, it is. So it should actually work. It's just choosing not to. Weird. Oh, of course. Because it's in images, favicon. Yeah, so now it's gonna work. But hold up, I have the ugly gray background. I want a PNG with transparency. So I'm gonna do that again. We don't want this anymore. Development, this goes away. This becomes a new favicon. Yeah, there we go. Looks much prettier, as you can see here. And yeah, I have to change a lot of details here. This is also work. This is also copy. This also goes into a lot of it. But I think I'm gonna stop filming for now. It's been 44 minutes for this part, so yeah, I'm just going. Oh, cool. I'm just gonna go ahead, add the copy for all the languages, figure out the pricing. I don't know what I'm gonna charge yet. Netlify allows you to connect these contacts. If you send a post request to a Netlify endpoint when this form is submitted, it's possible for you to get it all with Netlify itself. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, this is actually looks nice, right? I mean, for relatively pretty quick, it's cool. All right, see you soon. I spent some more time on the on that project. Now we've got this. I'm going to ditch German, so I'm going to have English and Portuguese. I'm going to ditch Norwegian. I'm going to have just English and Portuguese. Norwegian can come later or never, I don't know. I'll leave it at English. I changed the copy up a little bit. Like I made the CTA start getting better applicants instead of just continue or start now or get in touch. It's more clicky. People want to click this more, I believe. I went for get higher quality applicants for software engineering positions. And then these images are not real yet. I will make some some illustrations for this. I'm not sure totally what I'm going to do yet. Perhaps just something about wasting time, etc. Blah blah blah. Then I explained that we screen for ability, and actually also I say CVs and certificates are not a good measure of ability, and certificates links to an article I've already written of the world of fake Coursera certificates. And then I found some, when I was browsing some dark web forums, I found someone selling Coursera certificates that you could just pay $10 and you could get a certificate. And I asked for examples, and the guy actually sent me examples with real names. I searched the people on LinkedIn, and I found that they had all the certificates on their LinkedIn. So a lot of people are very bullshitty, and this guy probably couldn't be able to submit his application through an API, for example, so we would screen that person. And start getting better applicants. Yeah, actually I have here, start getting better applicants and better candidates. So I'm going to have to make that unified. Here you get the register job page. I have this, it's kind of small, but it doesn't matter in the beginning because I think I'll just explain to people on the phone or in person how it works. Fill in the form, get your API apply link or embed. By the way, I added the embedding option. Add it to your job ad and start getting qualified applicants in your inbox. So if we were to make an example here, potato company, my name is Amando, work email is amando@potato.com. Job title for the open job. Actually, the way I worded it, it almost seems like it's asking for my job title, so I might have to reword it to make it more clear. This is the job title for the open job. So potato company is looking for a software engineer. Job URL, this is not required, but I guess people will submit it. It's going to be like the URL for the LinkedIn/company site job posting. But I'm not going to fill this in now. And then you can get your apiapply.com link, which is this. This will take you to here. And you can see here job ID, potato company software engineer. Or you can embed it. And for embedding, then it generates this code. This is also translated, by the way, because you have apply and you have done. So depending on which language you've selected in the selector above, this is actually translated. And you can see that here. You can see that I use Hugo's internationalization function for this. This is the URL, HTML encoded HTML code, by the way, that is generated for the embedding. And if you just copy that, you don't actually need to submit this form at all. But if you don't submit it, then I don't have an email to send the jobs to, so you lose out. And then if you press register job, I get an email with all this information. And I can add it to the Google Sheet here at the companies and job postings tab. If you copy this embed code and you just put it into your own website, like for example, this is also my personal website. This is actually the Portuguese version because I was just testing the translations, but you just click apply and then you get this thing. It looks pretty bad, but you just get this thing in order to apply for this position, blah, 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 blah. So that's completely integrated into a completely different website. It adds the scripts and the CSS here. So I made this JS embed.js and embed.css files, which all they actually are is embed.js just defines these functions, open API apply overlay and close API apply overlay. And the CSS is just as simple, it's just some styles for the button, and that's it. The people can change this completely as they want. And the content is actually an iframe. So I made this embed page. So it's just an iframe. So if I change this, I change the contents of the iframe and every site gets updated. So that's cool. And I'm just gonna show this to some people, see what they think, questions they might have, so I can fill in the FAQ that doesn't have anything right now. I added some basic pricing, by the way. So like startup, $10 a month. I might actually charge $10 a month as it stands instead of giving it away for free, because I'm going to need to pay for the no-code tools that I'm using anyway. So I'm going to need to charge. And for the budget conscious, 10 qualified applicants per month and 1 job opening. This is all not real. These limitations don't exist, but I just make them there and people think they exist. Scale up. You got to pay up to scale up. 100 qualified applicants per month, 10 job openings. And corporate, that's just here just as a filler because the template had 3 spots. So yeah, established businesses, unlimited everything, priority support, and custom integrations. People might want me to send their candidates to their current CRMs, etc., etc. That's also possible to do with Zapier. But I'm not sure if it's possible to do it in a way that you have multiple people and different people get one integration and other people don't. So if it gets to this point where I have to make custom integrations, I will probably write some code. But that's it. That's bilingual MVP done in just over an hour. Hope you liked it.